Hello and welcome to Kamitian Field in Holliston, Massachusetts on Saturday, March 20th for SportView's award-winning production of Holliston Panther Football 2021. It's found only on HCAT TV. This morning, the Panthers faced the Hopkinton Hillers in the start of the Fall 2 MIAA football season. My name is Tom Emmons, and alongside is my co-host, the legend, Jay Wyman. Jay, Holliston seems to be more than ready for this long-delayed season opener. Can the Panthers be too pumped to face the Hillers today?
Well, first I'm going to tell you something that I never say too much. I don't think I've ever said before. Welcome to football and happy spring. But Holliston had a little issue in the past couple of weeks where they were down with COVID. They weren't able to play due to COVID. Something I'm not sure what happened there. So they missed 10 days of practice. So that's going to hurt them. But you know, the thing that Holliston has in their favor, Tom, is they got the coaching staff who always likes to start the year off with a tough opponent, which they're going to get today in Hopkinton. You know, a lot of schools like to start with maybe a weaker opponent and work their way up. Well, Holliston never does that, so I think that's going to be a plus for them. The strong coaching staff, and they have a strong senior class with some really, really good athletes, and you're going to see them out here today. On the other side of the field, though, I'm looking forward to a good battle from Hopkinton. It's always tough against Hopkinton. I always like, of course, even back when I was playing for Ashland, and the Hopkinton kids, you know, they are tough kids over there. So it's going to be a battle, and, hope we have a good football game to kick off the season.
Holliston last year had a record of 10-2. Todd Kiley is their head coach in his 18th season with the Panthers. 148 wins against 45 losses. Hopkinton Hillers were 6-5 last year. Their head coach is Dan McLean in his second season with the Hillers. Panther historian Ken Dunn tells us this is the 70th meeting between these two clubs that started way back in 1897. Holliston with 40 wins, 28 losses, and a tie against the Hillers.
Oh, it's just so great to be out here. I was down on the field a little bit earlier, and just so people watching know, it's sunny down there, and it's warm. It's not too, the wind isn't too bad. I'll give you the weather forecast, obviously, because Carlos isn't here today to do that for us. But it's a beautiful, sunny, warm day, and it's really nice temperature for these kids. They certainly won't get overheated today.
Captains on the field for the coin toss. Number 3, Teddy Radcliffe. Number 21, Tristan Benson. Number 55, Zach Athey, and number 4, Kevin Lyons. And for the Hillers, number 3, Cole Salward. Number 6 is Brian Keefe, and number 27 is Cam Mulvaney.
Couple quick things for you people, a couple of changes. First is the quarters will be 12 minutes. And then another thing to know is the halftime is only going to be 10 minutes. So when halftime comes, you can make popcorn, but you only get 10 minutes to do it.
It is just a beautiful day here at Kamitian Field. It didn't look like it a couple of weeks ago when the fields were buried with snow.
I know. And then we got the report, Thursday night? They thought they might get some snow, but fortunately that didn't happen.
So Holliston defers.
They have a lot of changes, you know. Like one of the things I noticed, they don't have benches, so they're not sitting down together on benches. And all the kids, if you see...
Oh, no. Hopkinton will kick to Holliston.
Then if you look on the other side of the field, you see how all the kids got to stay apart from each other and everything. So,
right. Well, I can just imagine how excited these two teams are to meet up. It's been a long wait. Somebody posted that it's been 480 days since the last football these two teams have played. That's a lot of preparation. Now we've got the national anthem. And the Panthers line up in their 73-7 formation.
Panthers assume their traditional 7-73 position, honoring the memory and legacy of Timothy O'Connell and Joey Larison. Please join in our national anthem.
Last time we saw the Panthers last season, they lost to Swampscott in the playoffs, you remember. But then they bounced back with a big 50-0 win on Thanksgiving. Just seems like 2 eons ago.
It really does. You know, that year they had Holliston had the 2 losses, but they were both the state champions, Ashland and Swampscott.
Last time these two teams faced was 2019, a Holliston 42-12 win. And that was a big game for Brian Gary as he scored 3 touchdowns on a rush, on a receiving, and on a fumble return. Back to receive the kick for the Panthers, number 21, Tristan Benson, and number 11, Christian Schneelock.
Oh, there's 2 guys that really can break it.
Christian Schneelock with 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown last year.
I don't remember seeing Tristan on kickoff, so it'd be interesting for him.
Schneelock takes it out of bounds at the 25. And he sneaks his way up to the 37-yard line. And that's where the Panthers will take over 1st and 10.
Well, the Panthers open with a new quarterback this year, Kevin Balwitz.
Number 8 will be your quarterback. Starting line for the Panthers, number 72, junior Brennan Ibbotson. Number 70, Robert Payne. Number 55, Zach Athey. Number 74, Patrick Griffin. Number 53, Justin Baddock.
Yeah, and Coach Kiley says that the offense and defensive lines are going to be strengths this year.
Ratcliffe in motion. Fake to Benson. And Balowitz bounces his way out to midfield and a Panther first down. Well, it just shows what a great athlete Balowitz is.
Well, Daniel Greenleaf got in there, and I thought he was going to get Balowitz, but he was able to sidestep him and get by him. First down, Holliston.
Balowitz back to pass.
Oh,
intercepted by number 72. Holliston appeared to be setting up a screen right there, but big number 72 stepped right in front of it.
Well, Brendan McGowan, look at him out there celebrating. You know, when those big boys, when they get a chance to get their hand on the ball, they really love it. Did a nice job. He came down with the ball. You know, a lot of times the ball, you don't expect it when you're a D lineman, and it comes in there and you fumble it around a little bit, but he was able to hold on to it and give Hopkinton some really great field position.
So now we get our first look at the Panther defense. Quarterback for the Hopkinton Hillers, Cole Sailward, and he goes to pass deep. And he is incomplete. Intended for number 29, Pereira.
Well, Selwood, they're pretty high on him. They really like him. And he, of course, the first ball he threw, I tell you, that was a perfect spiral right down the field, and he threw it very effortlessly. So looks like he's got a little bit of an arm on him there.
Selward is a Tri-Valley League All-Star last year, but at defensive back and wide receiver. Here's a handoff to number 34 on the sweep. Tackled by Stanwood.
It's Joseph Carrazza on running the ball.
Looks like it'll be 3rd down and 6. Starting for the Panthers, number 74, Patrick Griffin. Number 55, Zach Athey. Number 53, Justin Baddock. Number 9, Tim Aylward. Here's the pitch to Mulvaney. He tries the right side, and he's pushed out of bounds by Benson and Stanwood.
Yeah, but I'm sure this is 4-down territory for Hopkinton, so they'll be going on it here. I'm pretty sure.
Other starters for the Panther defense: number 11, Christian Schneelock; number 5, Danny Nash; number 17, Joey Gentile; number 3, Teddy Radcliffe. So it'll be 4th down and 4 for the Hopkinton. Fake to Mulvaney, but tripped up his Sailward. And Baddock in there with the tackle. So the Panthers get the ball back.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. It didn't really look like the running back hit Sally in the feet, but something did, and he just went right down.
9:43 to go in the first quarter. No score.
So Holliston's back out for their second go at it offensively.
Schneelock split out to the left with Radcliffe in the slot. Couple of receivers tight to the right of the formation. Radcliffe switches to the right. Balowitz takes it himself, picks up a couple of yards. 2nd down, probably about 8.
Well, that's what you want to do when the quarterback, if he makes a mistake, you want to get him right back in action again, either running the ball or throwing the ball. You don't want him to sit around thinking about that for any length of time.
Balowitz on the counter to Benson, and he has got a 1st down and pushed out of bounds across midfield. Tristan Benson with a big gain.
Well, they're expecting a lot from Tristan. If this had been a regular season and he had gotten the full season, and I think he would have had a really, really productive season. He's been a really superior back for Holliston for a couple of years now. And he's got it all. He's got speed. He's got power. He's got balance. And, you look at him, and it doesn't look like he's really that big. But he is, and he's a very powerful runner through the line.
His motor never stops running. We very often saw him get whistled down, not tackled. Here's Schneelock on the jet play. He's to the Hiller 45.
Ball is out, but they're calling it down.
Yeah. Timeout Holliston with 8:29 to go in the first quarter. No score here at Kamitian Field.
You know, you see Schneelock with the ball. You had some interesting stats on that, Tom. Schneelock, whenever
Christian
he touches.
Schneelock was a stat machine. He led the Panthers with 897 all-purpose yards, which was good enough. But he had 7 touchdowns, 2 by kickoff return, 1 by punt, 2 pick sixes, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. So 33 times last season he touched the ball. 7 times he ended up in the end zone. 21% of the time. So, as you said, got to get that guy the ball.
You got to get the ball in his hands. And, you know, the other thing is on the defensive side of the field, if you're a quarterback, you might want to keep the ball away from him.
But he's been a shutdown Tri-Valley League All-Star cornerback for a couple of seasons.
He has a good athlete. I believe he's a really good hockey player, too, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Timeouts are a little longer now. I guess they get 2 minutes.
They get water breaks and stuff.
Right.
Get the water. 8:29 left to go in the first quarter. Remember, these are 12-minute quarters, not 11 minutes.
Number 9, Tim Alward checks in for the Panthers.
Holliston's starting out. They're kind of overloading that right side of the offense. Putting trips out there a couple times and leaving the left side over here pretty wide open.
Now they flip the script. They put, they're a little heavy on the left-hand side. Balowitz with Benson behind him. Ratcliffe in motion. The counter back to Benson. And he's across the 40, close to a first down.
Yeah, that offensive line, Tom, they do a really good job. They'll wear you down. You know, you might not see a lot of it in the first quarter, maybe the second, maybe even the beginning of the third, but you get near that end of the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, and they just wear you right down.
So it'll be 4th and 1 for the Panthers.
Third and 1.
Benson, right side, dances forward. He's got enough for a first down yardage, but he's strung out by the Hillers. Finally tackled by number 70, Hayes Pearson Woodruff, one of the Danny V players to watch this season.
Well, I'll tell you that Hopkinton did a nice job there. You know, that defensive end, he wouldn't let him get outside him. And Benson, as you said, it was strung along there and was able to have the other players come up and help him and make the tackle.
Benson again, this time big hole up front. He's across the 30, close to another first down.
You know, the Holliston guys, Holliston fans, you know, have listened for years to us talk about those athlete boys, you know, the backs, the quarterbacks, the running backs, and everything else. But this year, Zach is he's up there controlling the line.
Actually, 2nd down and 1. Fake to Benson. Balowitz is going to take it himself. No, he pulls the ball back.
Oh, what a catch!
Catch by Teddy Ratcliffe. And he's down inside the 5-yard line. What athleticism.
The great part of that catch was he did not go out of bounds. What a tremendous turn and catch.
After the fake, Balowitz tucked the ball to run, but pulled up at the last second. And Ratcliffe with a one-handed catch and spin gets it. The Panthers inside the 5.
And that's a tough throw when you're a right-handed quarterback coming to your left that way with your body opened up the way it was for Kevin. That was a nice throw, a little bit off of the mark, but Ratcliffe was able to make the recovery, and what a tremendous catch.
Stanwood comes in at quarterback for the War offense. Pitch to Schneelock, right side, touchdown, Panthers!
Well, that's all I'm going to tell you right now is add to those stats. He's running ahead of where he normally is. He's touched the ball, 3 times, and he scored already.
Christian Schneelock with the first Panther touchdown of the season. We just talked about him. Offensive line punched a big hole that time.
Nick Cotting for the Extra point.
And he blasts it through. So with 6:21 to go in the first quarter, the Panthers are up 7-0 over the Hillers.
Well, it started out a little bit iffy, but it's funny. Holliston always does. They always seem to the first drive or something. They usually have a situation where they start off a little slow, and then once they get going, they pick it up, and it's like a going downhill then for them.
Yeah, and they did miss their scrimmage last week.
Yes, yeah.
Which is usually a fine tuning for the Panthers.
Yeah, we get to see a lot. Normally, in a normal year, you and I would get to see, of course, we'd go to the passing leagues and we see the scrimmages and we have a lot of information on how the team's going to look, how they're going to play, who's playing what, and who's doing what to who. But we really haven't got a chance to do it this year because we're not allowed into the facility to see anything.
Yeah, we're a little bit out of
we're out of whack a little bit here.
Which isn't unusual for us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Actually puts us in the groove, I guess.
Yeah, right in that sweet spot. All right, 7-0, 6:21 left to go in the first quarter.
Well, Kamitian Field's been very good to the Panthers. I was looking back and seeing that the Herald came out with an all-decade team. Nick Athey and Scott Elliott made the all-decade team for the Panthers. And that was a big kudos for those two Holliston players. The only two players from the Tri-Valley League that were in the all-decade team. Cotting with the kickoff. It's going to be taken about the 12. Nice breakthrough by Cam Mulvaney and a saving tackle by Joey Gentile.
One of the things Holliston, they score over the years, they score so much. So really, kickoffs are something they usually do very, very well. They usually cover them well and everything. I did notice that time Nick Cotting, he boomed the ball down a lot further downfield than I thought. And what happened was, as they were going down, the lanes kind of broke a little bit down there, allowing the runner to get through them.
Cotting averaged 45 yards a kickoff last year.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground, and it looks like it's Holliston ball. And a big recovery by big number 74, Patrick Griffin.
See, you kind of wonder what you're going to see today and the situation we've had. Now, that's the second turnover of the game, and we're just not even 6 minutes into the game here. And you kind of wonder, and you really can't blame the kids for this because it takes a lot of practice, a lot of coordination to do this kind of stuff, and they just haven't been able to not only not play the game of football, but they haven't even been able to get together like over the summer or whatever to get together.
Right, all those captains' practices.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Hiller 45. Balowitz with Benson behind him. Alward in motion. Benson charges forward. Got about 6 yards.
Well, like I told you, you're going to have a lot of fun watching Tristan Benson this year. He really just does it all. And, he's one of the captains here, and, boy, he really deserves that captaincy.
2nd down and 4. 5:44 to go in the first quarter.
Holliston, I think, has found something they like on that interior line.
Balowitz with the pitch to Ratcliffe around the right side on the counter, and he's across the 30-yard line inside the 30 for another Panther first down.
They like that. And Hopkinton is doing a good job. Hopkinton is trying to play against the run, and they're bringing a lot of people up. They have that one safety back there, but they're bringing, of course, their corners are up tight on the Holliston receivers, which I like. I love when cornerbacks play up tight like that. But they also have their front seven are all up pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
So 1st down and 10 from the 29. Hand off to Benson. He's got some room. Turns the corner. And the Jets going to be to the cone. And he's just stopped by number 3, Cole Sailward.
Well, Sailward, he must have a lot of speed because he was able to catch Benson, took the proper angle and was able to get him. I'm sure Holliston now will probably go to the War offense maybe.
Time for War. They move Zach Athey back to the fullback spot, so they got big number 55 to lead the play if they want it. Stanwood pitches to Benson. Benson dances into the end zone. Touchdown, Holliston!
That's a nice job. Now, when you have a running back like that, you know, a lot of times you say, well, okay, he made a nice 2-yard run or something. But what he did there was he was very patient. He waited for the block to open, made a step, and then another block to open, and then he was able to pick his way in, doing a really nice job.
So Tristan Benson with his... Well, hold on a second. We got Nick Cotting setting up for the extra point. And he bangs that one through. So with 4:28 to go in the first quarter, Holliston on the board again, 14-0 over the Hillers.
Little interesting there what happened with Cotting is I thought he was starting a little early on his approach to the ball. The ball wasn't even in the placeholder's hand.
You got to do your job. It's the snapper's job to snap. It's the holder's job to get that ball down there. Nick said, I'm going to be there. Hope you can make it. I want to point out that was the 35th touchdown of Tristan Benson's career.
Well, he's got to be climbing up there in the Holliston record books.
I'm sure we will hear about those records falling from Ken Dunn. I estimate that so far he's got about 60 yards rushing so far this game.
Yeah.
I know we don't have our onboard stats today, but I think Benson's well on his way to a good production. Cotting with the kickoff now. Line drive is taken at the 10 by Mulvaney, and he is tackled just across the 30-yard line.
So the Holliston defense comes out after recovering a fumble that helped the offense get downfield and score. 14-0, 4:20 left to go in the first quarter.
Well, it's that Panther offense that can put the ball in the end zone. 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and what they'll do is if they score another touchdown or two here without Hopkinton scoring, is they'll start putting pressure on Hopkinton to pass the ball and make him a little more one-dimensional. But it's still a long way to go. This game is certainly not over yet.
Spread formation by Hopkinton. Salward takes it himself. Cuts it up inside. Tackled by number 55, Zach Athey. Or number 56, excuse me. That was a nice one. Carter Capello, another senior on this Panther squad. Second and 5.
It's a good passing down here for Hopkinton.
Salward back to pass. Fires it down the middle, high, incomplete, intended for number 14.
Again, though, he was just about right there. And once again, he like Kevin, Kevin Belowitz for Holliston, that these quarterbacks, they're going to be a little bit off. They haven't really had a lot of time to practice. And when you think about it, even if you didn't miss the COVID, you still only, the COVID time, Holliston missed those 10 days, but even Hopkinton only had 20-something days to prepare. That's not a real long time.
Right.
So I'm not trying to make excuses for these kids. I'm just trying to tell you the reason for some of these things happening.
3rd down and 10 for Hopkinton. They've got 5 receivers, and Sailward takes it himself. He breaks the line. He's got a 1st down. Tackled out there after the 1st down.
That was a nice run by Sully. What he did was he went to his left, and he thought he was going to get contact, and he understood where he had to get for the 1st down. He was able to make a little sidestep, and get by and just get another 2 or 3 yards to get that big first down for Hopkinton.
Well, he's got a little more room with that empty backfield look.
There he goes again.
Fake handoff. Try to take it himself. Stopped. Short by Baddock. On number 53 came up with a stop.
Well, that's a good point you made, Tom, too, about that. You know, when you have a running quarterback, you have 10 blockers. If you're a quarterback and you hand the ball off, that runner only has 9 blockers because he doesn't have the quarterback blocking for him.
Robert Payne checks into the ball game for Holliston. Number of substitutions going on. Mulvaney breaks the tackle, tries to cut it back. He bowls his way to the sideline. Chased down by Ratcliffe. Big run by number 27, Cam Mulvaney.
That was an incredible run, and to keep his balance down the sideline and not step out of bounds was a really nice job by him. Holliston had a couple shots at him and wasn't able to finish him off.
So Hopkinton inside the 10-yard line and threatening. Last year, Mulvaney rushed 22 times for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns against Holliston. So Holliston very familiar with number 27.
2:22 left to go in the first quarter.
First and goal for Hopkinton. Sailward going to take it himself. Heads to the sidelines. Stopped just short of the cone.
Well, Holliston kind of stretched that out a little bit, but they weren't quite able to get up there quite as fast as they wanted to. They did. I thought they were going to have a shot at him a couple of yards before that, but here we have the timeout with Hopkinton.
So second and goal from the 2 for the Hillers as they just bounce back really strong after that last Holliston touchdown.
2:14 left to go in the first quarter of this ball game. We've seen a couple scores already by Holliston.
We're going to have a lot of football today.
We're going to.
These two teams putting on a show for sure.
Well, they're talented, you know, and Hopkins got that backfield right now. And, Mulvaney and Salia, they look very good.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to the HCAT crew. I mean, we're the beautiful faces that everybody gets to see all the time.
We got the faces from radio.
But Bruce Guilfoy, Lisa Hedrick have done a tremendous job, not just for this football game, but for volleyball, track, swimming, the fall sports. We had all the fall sports of soccer and field hockey. So was it all the basketball games? So what a tremendous job by HCAT, who got, everybody had to make COVID changes, but they had to put it into overdrive to bring you all this action.
They did, and with the opportunity that the parents don't have to come and see the games, or the fans don't have to come see the games, it's good that all these towns are putting these games on TV so that the people can enjoy them.
And it's all live.
Yep.
I remember the first time that Bruce was on his cell phone and he somehow had it connected to his laptop and we were live.
I don't know what he does over there. He does something with the computer. I'm not quite sure.
Second and goal for the Hillers. Sailward with Mulvaney to his right. They're on the left hash. Fake jet play. Mulvaney up the middle. Touchdown for Hillers.
Well, I'll give that touchdown to that offensive line. They did a really nice job and opened up a big hole.
You had to respect number 27. He punched it in.
So Hopkins starts to creep back in a little bit. 14-6, 2:09 left to go in the first quarter.
Hopkinton going for 2 right here.
Now watch that left side.
And we got a procedure penalty against the Hillers. I wonder if this will make Coach McLean change his mind, and he does send out the kicking team.
This has been a relatively clean first quarter as far as penalties, though. You know, I've kind of felt that maybe people will be a little little more offsides or whatever, and we haven't really seen that.
So number 15 will line up for the kick.
There's timeout, Hopkinton.
It's Avery Ravitch is the place kicker.
It looks like they didn't have enough guys on the field. I think that's what happened. I think they only had 10 out there.
Well, that can happen.
Yeah.
Again, you're talking about getting the sort of preseason jitters or opening day jitters.
You know, when we always used to have the Joey Larissy Bowl for years with Holliston, and you used to talk all the time, Tom, about how it's not just scrimmage outside. It's all the other stuff you got to get used to, you know, and who's playing where and who's on the punt team, who's on the receive team.
One time over at Framingham, somebody had forgotten their helmet, and somebody had to drive back to Holliston and get their helmet. I remember Coach Kiley telling me that's why they shake these preseason games down.
Okay, we're all set to
Ravitch
go.
lines up for the kick now.
It looks good.
His kick is good. So with 2:09 to go in the first quarter, the Hillers strike, and it's 14-7 Holliston.
You know, one of the things I'm kind of seeing today a little bit is both these kickers have made the kicks very easily, and I wonder if that might be something we look at later on in the ball game.
You're always waiting for that game-winning kick, Jay.
Oh, we had over in Medway the Christian Baker kick that was...
Oh, my gosh. That one will go down in history. It has gone down in history. Well, the Panthers are going to get their chance to bounce back right now. These two teams throwing haymakers at each other.
Yeah, they're going right at each other. Well, that's what I expected. You know, I told you, two teams that are, you know, normally very well-coached teams and tough kids, good athletes.
Schneelock and Benson back for Holliston, deep. Ravitch's kick is taken by Benson back inside the 15. He's brought down at the Panther 35-yard line where they'll start 1st and 10.
That's a nice place to start for Holliston. You know, these rosters are smaller, too. I don't know, they have 44, 45 kids.
And our eyes didn't get better in the last year.
No. Especially mine. But they're down. They're so small that a lot of these kids got to go two ways, and then also play on the special teams. So that's a lot to ask. Of course, the season is a lot shorter too, so that's going to help balance out a little bit.
Twin receivers to the left of Bailowitz. Hand off to Benson. He's gobbled up right away by number 70 and number 51. That's Greenleaf and Pearson Woodruff.
Well, I'll tell you, these offensive fronts and defensive fronts are really going at each other. It's really fun to kind of watch them. I know a lot of times you tend to just watch where the ball is and who's throwing it, who's catching, who's running with it. But you get down and you're watching the trenches. These guys are really going at it, and they're having a good time down there.
2nd down and 9 for Holliston. Balwitz fakes it and pitches out to Stanwood, but he's clipped right away by number 6, Brian Keefe, Captain Brian Keefe.
Brian Keefe did an excellent job there. He covered his own man, the receiver, and then he was able to shed him when the ball went by. He was able to shed the block and get in there and make the tackle. Very nicely done.
Stanwood had to come back for that ball, so that'll be 3rd down and 15 for Holliston.
And you watch now. I bet Hopkinton will probably put the pressure on here. See if they send people. Oh, they don't.
Balwitz on the draw.
Ooh.
Gets hit coming back into the play just short of the 40. That's going to bring up 4th down and probably 7 yards for Holliston.
Yeah, and where the ball is placed and the way the Hopkins has been playing, I think it's time you want to punt the ball.
Right, so against his better judgment, Coach Kiley sends out the punt team, and we've got number 23, Nick Cotting, doing the punting this year.
Those receivers for Hopkinton are going to be looking right up into the sun.
Mulvaney back for the kick. But it's going to be taken by Keefe, and he's tripped up right at the 30-yard line. So a good exchange for the Panthers. And that'll be the end of the first quarter with the Panthers leading the Hillers 14-7. So we've had an entertaining 12 minutes.
Yeah, we have. We
football.
almost saw a full half of football there, up and down the field. I'm very impressed that, because each team had a turnover, and that's going to happen a little bit. I'm very impressed with the way these teams are playing as far as no penalties, Tom. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. That's another thing. Football needs so much synchronization and so much coordination of the teammates and everything, because it's not just you. It's the guy beside you and the guy beside him. And, you don't have time to practice that. And like I said, it's not even that they couldn't practice during their practice time, the 20 days, whatever it was. It's also that all through the year they couldn't practice. They didn't have these camps last summer and everything that you normally have during the year to kind of finish it out. And then you bring it into these two quarterbacks who are both I believe they're both first-year starters, and put that in there too. So there's a lot of newness going on here. And even though there is, both teams have played very, very clean so far.
Great quote in the paper from Midway head coach Anthony Mazzoli. We're going to try to enjoy every day, enjoy the process, enjoy the practices and the camaraderie that's been lacking. For the emotional well-being of these young kids to be able to have that interaction and routine is vital.
Oh, it is. The normalcy. I know when we started with the basketball, it was just the normalcy, and you see the joy on the kids' faces out there playing the sports. Things have got to get back to normal, and this is a big, big help.
So they change sides, and Hopkinton 1st and 10 from their own 29. Mulvaney bowls his way, and he's finally brought down by number 10, Chris Del Ponte.
Well, you better get Mulvaney low because he's not going down. That was a super run.
He got 9 yards, 2nd down and 2.
And he got hit pretty early, too. It's not like he broke out in the clear there. He was dragging somebody along with him.
Fake to Mulvaney. Selwards takes it himself. Looks like he's got it just enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, it's right on the 40, so he does have the 1st down.
This Panther defense knows they've got a big job this afternoon.
Well, first thing you got to do is shut down the run. But you also got to watch out, because as you keep creeping up there to shut down the run, that's when they throw the ball.
Selwards. And he's strung out and tackled by Joey Gentile. He seems to be going coast to coast here for the Panthers.
Joey, the sophomore, is a really talented athlete. We had him, we were doing basketball, and, he played a lot for the Varsity this year in basketball, too. He's a special athlete for Holliston, another one of these kids that comes up through the system and learns the game of football.
Good stop by the Panthers, 2nd down and 9 for Hopkinton.
This is a big down right here. If they can hold him to 3rd and long, put him in a passing situation, they know what's going to be coming.
On the jet play, number 34.
Oh, what a
And
nice tackle.
job. Number 2, Stanwood? He came up from his safety spot to make that stop.
Caught from behind, and now you put him in a situation where they're most likely going to be throwing the ball.
3rd and 7 for Hopkinton.
Now Holliston can come after him if they want.
Salward back to pass. Here's Benson coming. Long pass. Incomplete. Number 2, Ryan Sandwood on the defense. What coverage.
I'm going to tell you, first of all, that's a first down. He caught that ball.
They're calling it a catch.
I don't understand that. I mean, that ball went out, so that's either going to be a drop, but they better get ready because.
Well, 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
You know, the ref had stopped down there, and I was wondering what he was doing. He had marked the spot where the ball went down, but I didn't see. I thought the ball came out before the receiver went down. And if that happened, that's really a fumble, and I don't know how you rule that.
Well, whether he had possession of that catch, it all was happening at once.
I honestly wouldn't
so
mind.
The call was a catch and down by contact?
See, I honestly wouldn't mind if they said it was a catch as much as it wasn't a fumble. That's what I don't understand.
Well, either way, it's 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Salward to Mulvaney.
Well, I was going to say
big pile up there.
I was going to say about that play anyway. I thought that Salliard made a really good, going to his left. He made a really nice throw. He throws a beautiful ball. He really does. A nice tight spiral. It's much easier to catch if you're a receiver.
2nd down and 5 for the Hillers as they're inside the 20. Salward fakes it to Mulvaney, takes it himself, and he is stopped. That was number 74, Patrick Griffin.
Griffin did a nice job. Griffin was in that point. Once again, these two offensive and defensive lines are going at it. Griffin was able to shed the blocker and make a really nice tackle of a really good athlete.
So that brings up 3rd down and 5 for Hopkinton. Salward rolls to his right.
Oh, wide
dumps
open.
It off to Mulvaney, who's open. Touchdown. And the Hillers score with 8 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first half.
What happened there was Salliard sold the fact that he was going to run with the ball, and it put the cornerback in a tough situation out there because there was nobody else. He had to come up to defend against the run, and as he did, that opened up the pass where there was nobody covering the receiver. They're going to have to really work hard on containing Salliard from getting outside.
Ravitch with the kick. It's up and good. So with 8:36 to go, it's tied at 14. So the Hillers have come back with 2 scores of their own here. 2 touchdowns by Cam Mulvaney. I believe that was the first varsity touchdown pass by Cole Salwards.
Well,
but you're right. He did it. He sort of put that Panther player in no man's land.
He did, and the cornerback, he had no choice. He had to come up and stop the run because if you're going to let him run, he's going to score, obviously. If he has to throw the ball, well, maybe somebody drops it or whatever. But controversial play to set up that touchdown. But, you got to play through these things. You can't let these things affect you when things don't go quite your way.
We've seen it year in, year out. Sport is overcoming adversity.
Absolutely.
Which team can overcome the most adversity to win? Play the cards that are dealt you, and that's how the Panthers have played for decades. Let's see if they can bounce back tonight. Ravitch with the long kick sends Ratcliffe back inside the 5. Number 3 fights his way up to the 25-yard line.
Well, now this offense has got to come out and, get back on track. I told you a while ago, they got 14-0. The game really was not anywhere close to being over.
No, it looks like we're in for a long day of football today. A long, enjoyable day.
This is great. 8:29 left to go in the first half. Tie game.
And Holliston goes to war, interestingly. Benson on the right wing. Schneelock on the left. Number 11 gets it across the 30-yard line.
I think what they're going to try and do... Oh, there's a flag. Let's see what this is about. Second flag of the game.
That was a gain of 6 on the play, or a gain of 5 on the play.
Dead ball, personal foul against on Hopkinton. So that's 15 yards that Holliston will gain.
I think somebody said something. That's usually on that quick whistle.
Or someone gets tackled and we couldn't see it from here. Maybe they were down on the ground and someone came in and hit them. It's.
I didn't see a late hit. Well, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 47. So Holliston in war. Stanwood at quarterback. Benson, left side. Number 21. Keeps pumping the legs, and he's got a decent gain as he crosses midfield.
You got to watch Hopkinson's adjustment here. Now they're coming up. There's not a lot of people in that defensive backfield now. They're coming up. If you see them start to squeeze a little bit, by that I mean if you see the line, the defensive line start to come in a little bit, that's when Holliston can hit the outside with a running player just off tackle.
So 2nd down and 2 for the Panthers as they're on the Hiller 45. Ratcliffe on the right wing. He takes the ball. Left side. Bangs his way behind Patrick Griffin, and he's got a Holliston 1st down. Love seeing those big linemen out in front of the play.
I was just going to say that. Patrick Griffin has led that line a couple times. He's a lead blocker out there.
1st and 10 for Holliston. Schneelock knifes his way across the 35.
Well, there you go. You want smash mouth football, you got it. 6:51 left to go in the half.
So it'll be a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
At some point, though, I really kind of think Holliston's going to hit the outside here.
Schneelock. Hopkinton tries to string it out, but number 11 finds a little room along the sideline.
I'll tell you, that's a tough thing to do. What Hopkinton did just there by stringing it out. They brought, if you look over there, who's over there, your defensive tackles and everything all came across. That was a nice, nicely covered there by Hopkinton.
So 3rd and 2 for Holliston. Benson back in the ball game on the right wing. They pitch to him. Follows his blockers and leans forward across inside the 25. Another Holliston 1st down.
Oh, you called that just right, Tom. That's exactly what he did. He followed his blockers, And he shows patience. He waits until the block is made, and then he hits. And he has such great acceleration. He can do that and still go off that push and get in that hole very, very quickly.
Well, the big red machine is geared up right now. They're going to go to Benson again. This time he gets tripped up by Brian Keefe.
I still think they're setting this up for something to the outside here. Or my favorite play off of this is obviously a pass.
Well, we had that Canton. Oh, was that? I don't think that was war formation.
No, the touchdown by
the touchdown to Kevin Lyons.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, came out of my skin on that one.
So did the whole coaching staff. I think I was the only calm one that day. 5:02 left to go. 5:01.
That's a change. That's a change. 2nd down and 8 for Holliston. Here comes Benson, and he is pushed back. Short gain. Going to bring up 3rd down and long.
There's another flag. Here we go. And this one might be against Holliston. Let's see. Dead ball foul. Oh. Taunting the opponent. It sounds like it's interesting now with nobody in the stands. You can kind of hear what's going on. So this will be against Holliston. And, of course, it's after the play, so the play counts.
So Holliston will be 3rd and very long. 3rd and 20.
So Holliston will get out of war and go into their regular formation.
Schneelock switches over to the left side.
This is interesting.
With Radcliffe.
This right side is way, way open over here. The right side of the offense.
Balowitz with Benson behind him. Hand off to Benson. Fake to Benson. And Balowitz tries to take it himself as his pocket was collapsing. That'll bring up a 4th down and long.
Well, so the punting team comes out. And a taunting penalty put Holliston back on its heels, and they're just not able to recover from it.
Well, the rust is off, and teams have figured each other out, and matchups are starting to play out in this game. That's when you get down to real football.
Yeah.
Cotting's punt is up.
What a nice
Takes
bounce.
a Holliston bounce. It's going to come to a stop just inside the 15-yard line. 2:52 to go in the first half. 14-14. Just been a whale of a ball game today.
Now, this will be interesting to see how Holliston does this. Of course, they've been running pretty well, so if they start running, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're, tucking it in for the quarter. But it'd be interesting to see if they come out throwing the ball here. The other thing is they know it's a tie game, they're getting the ball back at the beginning of the second half. Salwood back in the quarterback position.
Fake to Mulvaney, takes it himself. Panthers pile that up. Looks like a gain of 3.
There's no announcer here. He's upstairs. There's no music. Sorry. No music. I don't know.
Two,
Go talk to Mr. Baker.
2:20 left to go in the quarter. The clock's running. So the question is, they stay in the huddle for a long time. Is it because they're talking about a pass play, or is it because they want the clock to run?
That's a good question.
We're going to find out the answer in a minute or a few seconds.
There's the fake, and we got whistles. We got a procedure penalty, probably.
Yep. Yeah, we do.
We're down under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
So now the chess game begins. If you throw the ball and they don't get it, that stops the clock. But you're going to see Holliston maybe using some timeouts here to get that ball back.
Holliston usually has excellent clock management, but like you said, Jade, all hinges on these next couple of plays.
So this one, if they try and run the ball here and they don't get far, Holliston will immediately call a timeout.
2nd down and 12 for the Hillers. Salward hands it to Mulvaney.
Get him out of bounds, and
He gets out of bounds.
stops the clock. See, now Holliston doesn't have to use that. Now you have a 3rd down, and if they don't get it, Holliston can call a timeout and get the ball back.
Looks like it's going to be a 3rd down and 9.
That's a tough situation when the runner runs out of bounds like that. You stop the clock, and they didn't want to stop the clock down here.
So 3rd down and long for Hopkinton. Salwer with Mulvaney there. He rolls out to his left. Pulls the ball back, incomplete.
Yeah, that ball was tipped. That was a nice job by Holliston. And again, the clock stops without using a timeout for Holliston. They got 97 seconds. They're going to get this ball back. They're going to be in good field position, and they're going to have their timeouts.
Plenty of time on the clock for the Panthers.
Oh, there's a lot of time because they'll have the ball in very good position here. And I'll tell you, Holliston, number 11, is back there, and he's done some special stuff as a punt returner.
Actually, they were set up to go for it there on 4th and 9.
Yeah, they were. Holliston was having none of that. There's no way they're going to go for it on 4th and 9 down there. So it gets right.
Well, we saw a couple of teams with that the quarterback ends up punting the ball from that really pooch position.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like that only in the sense that unless he's a really good kicker like Danny White of the Dallas Cowboys used to be. But
not that good.
Had to get him in there. But seriously, if you have a kicker who's pretty good, and it looked like their kicker seems to be pretty strong, I would put my strongest guy out there, and I would have him, punt the ball and get it downfield as far as I could.
Well, Schneelock's going back deep to return the punt.
Now, Salyard's there. He may either punt or maybe he has a read that he reads off of or something, but there he's punting.
There's the kick, and he sends Schneelock back. The ball's loose on the turf.
Holliston's got it back.
That ball just would not be handled.
Well, Salyard can do it all. That was a really nice punt.
But Ratcliffe was back there, and he backed up Schneelock well and got the ball. Minute 25 the Panthers have to work with.
Okay, they got all kinds of time here. You can work your way down the field. That's a great thing about being on offense. You can run out of bounds, and stop the clock, or whatever you need to do. If you have offense, you have control of that clock. Let's see how Hopkinton does this defensively. They're not coming out of there. They're not playing back at all. Well, maybe a little bit deeper than they were before.
Schneelock split to the right with Lyons in the slot. Ratcliffe and Stanwood to the left. Balowitz is going to go on the draw. He breaks one tackle. But he's stopped at the 40-yard line, and Holliston immediately takes a timeout.
1:11 left to go in the first half. Oh. Nope.
No, they did not take a timeout. Second down. Balowitz puts it up. Schneelock.
Flag, yeah, pass interference, yeah. What he did was he really impeded Schneelock's attempt to go get the ball. And I'll tell you what, with Schneelock, that's a good call because he can go get a ball like that.
Right.
You know, sometimes you look and on the other side of the field, and the coaching staff will say, well, it's uncatchable or whatever, but that ball was definitely catchable by Schneelock. The other thing that does for Holliston is it stops it. What are we doing now? Oh, there we go.
It's not a point of infraction foul like it is in the pros.
Right. But it is a first down, and it does stop the clock with 59 seconds left.
So the Panthers are at midfield with 59 seconds to go.
Clock starts. Here we go.
Balowitz looks left, fires. Ratcliffe with the catch, but he doesn't get out of bounds.
Holliston saving the timeouts, 33, 32, 31 seconds.
Balowitz again, this time, to Stanwood. But that ball will be incomplete as he was hit immediately.
Boy, was that a beautiful pass. That ball went right where Stanwood needed it. Fortunately, I mean, if he had to reach for that, he would have got clobbered, but it was right there, so when he got hit, he was in the proper position to kind of defend himself. 24 seconds left, third down.
Ratcliffe's going to move to the right of the formation. Balowitz rolls right. And the ball is incomplete. That brings up fourth down with 18 seconds to go.
Well, they're in a situation here where they can really try and go for try and see if they get a first down. Don't forget the clock stops with the first down, and also until the team is ready, and also the Holliston must have, I believe, some timeouts left here. $18 seconds left.
Holliston's going to punt.
I guess they're going to punt. Maybe.
Well, we've also got the Tommy Donovan play.
Yeah.
Remember down in Millis, the snap came back and he dropped it, but when he picked it up, he saw the field wide open, so he ran for a touchdown.
Took off for a touchdown. TD Tommy Donovan.
Cotting's kick is up. Bounces for Holliston.
Yeah, you don't down this now. Don't down this. Let that clock run. 5 seconds left.
Yeah, so let's see if Hopkinton just takes a knee right here.
Yeah, he probably will. It's a good little fight here in a 14-14 ball game. Holliston started off going out 14-0, and Hopkinton battled back, and we see some good runs by the running backs, the quarterbacks. And I think overall, I'd really give this a high grade for a well-played first half. A couple taunting penalties. Those are things you can just clean right up. Kneels down, and that'll do it.
So the end of the first half, the Panthers are tied with the Hopkinton Hillers 14-14. We'll be back with second half action.
In 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. All right, we're back for second half action. 14-14 is your score. Panthers scored first. 6:21, Christian Schneelock with his 8th touchdown of his career from 1 yard out. And then just 2 minutes later at 4:28, it was Tristan Benson punching it in from 2 yards out for his 35th career touchdown. And Holliston looked like it was running away with it at 14-0. Benson had 60 yards. And then the Hillers said, well, we're going to play a little football too. The Hillers scored a couple of Cam Mulvaney touchdowns just before the end of one before the end of the quarter, one just after the end of the quarter to tie it up 14. And then the rest of the second quarter was played to a draw.
Yeah, they just bounced it out. First of all, we apologize. It's a 15-minute halftime. We were told 10, but I'm sure everyone was okay with that. Yeah, Tom, you're right. I thought Hopkinton came back, and it was kind of like they were keyed by their defense a little bit too. I mean, I think as their defense stopped Holliston a couple times, their offense really got into it. And so many times in so many sports that happens. The offense is keyed off of the defense, and here it is now. Holliston will be kicking off again to open the half, and Hopkinton will get a chance to get the ball back.
So it's great to see the teams. They got the rust off, they got the jitters out, they figured it out, and now we're playing some real football. So it'll be very interesting to see how things play out this second half.
Now we're going to go after it. It's interesting too. So many years we've seen Holliston come out in the second half, and really kind of explode, making the adjustments they need to make offensively and defensively. And a lot of times they take over the games. But, I think they're in for a fight here today. This Hopkinton team looks really good, and they're running well, and their line's playing well, and their quarterback is playing well.
Here's Nick Cotting with the kickoff. His kick's going to come down at the 20 to one of the upbacks. That's Brian Keefe. And the captain is still on his feet across midfield until he's knocked out of bounds by Adrisa Smith, number 6. Adrisa's a soccer player that put on the helmet for this football season.
Well, they can do that now with the, this particular year. They have a shot at doing that because, of course, the soccer season's over. And, if they've always wanted to play football, you get a shot at doing it.
So Hopkins with great field position at the Holliston 45. Salwords takes it himself. He's met by number 4, Kevin Lyons. Nice article about Kevin Lyons in the paper. I didn't realize he plays with diabetes.
He does, yes. And super kid, Kevin Lyons. A really, really great article. And what a football player he is.
Second down and 5 for the Hillers. Salwords rolls out left, pulls it back, and try to hit his receiver, but great coverage there by number 2, Ryan Stanwood.
Ryan did an excellent job there, and he just ran with the receiver all the way down the field, and it was really a little bit out of, I think, the quarterback's.
Well, he was making the most difficult role that you can.
Going to his left.
Going to his left and then pulling back and making a long throw. So third down and 5 for Hopkinton.
And let's see if Holliston comes out. They really haven't been blitzing too much.
Fake jet play, back roll by Salward, puts it up. And Brian Keefe catches it inside the 10 and is down inside the 5.
Well, Keith has made the 2 big plays here. The kickoff return and that catch was beautiful, well-designed play. And Holliston had 2 defenders down there, too.
Senior captain snuck behind the defense. As Sowards made that reverse rollout. Really caught the Panthers flat-footed, and now we got first and goal for Hopkinton. Hand off to Mulvaney. And he's stacked up as he runs into big Zach Athey and number 10, Chris Del Ponte.
Gain of a slight gain there, maybe a...
You're very generous.
Yeah.
How you can see from this distance that was a slight gain. Second down and goal from the 2.
Holliston's got to contain.
Sowards rolls right. And there he's hit. Hit right away by number 9, Tim Aylward.
Yeah.
He was the number 2 tackler on the team last year. Lyons was number 1.
You know, it's interesting how the left side of that line, I'm not sure why Holliston's not attacking the outside on the left there. And now Holliston gets a few players there. Last possession, the last play, they didn't have that many players back there.
Third down and goal for the Hillers. Salward straight away to Mulvaney, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown, his third of the day. 9:27 left to go in this third quarter.
You know, it's interesting. The other teams, the away teams, are not allowed to have fans in the stands at these football games in this league, and so the only real enthusiasm is coming from the kids themselves down there in Holliston, and they're really into this.
Ravage with the kick. It is good. So Hopkinton battles back with 3 unanswered scores for their first lead of the day, 21-14 over the Panthers.
They've done a nice job, and you know now that the Hopkinton is starting to click on the passing game too. That's going to be a little problem for Holliston if they can run and pass. 9:27 left to go in the third. Still a long, long way to go.
Hopkinton strikes first out of the locker room, and it was helped by those 2 big Brian Keith plays. That kick return was just outstanding, and if you didn't think that was great, then that catch that he made,
which by the way was thrown right on the button.
Salwards, we mentioned, is quite an athlete, and he's a commit to St. Lawrence. I know you were talking at halftime about cold upstate New York places. I would put St. Lawrence in that category. So Benson and Schneelock back to receive the kick deep. Drives Schneelock back almost to the goal line.
Fumble, and Hopkins got the ball.
He got popped, and number 34.
Yeah, and that may be even more, and this might move the ball even closer for Hopkins. A fumble on the kick return.
Recover by Carraza. Now the referees are sorting this out.
Let's see what the call is.
Either way is going to put the Hillers in business.
Oh, are they picking the flag up?
They're either picking the flag up or it's offsetting penalties. I'm sure that was an emotional response there.
Dead ball against Holliston. And here they go with it. Now they're moving the ball back against Holliston.
So this will put Hopkinton in play right at the 10-yard line. So another, well, maybe they'll be just outside the 10.
Yeah, the defense now
Essentially
really,
a first and goal.
either way, the defense really has to stiffen here.
Well, the Hopkinton offense has been feeling it with 3 straight touchdowns against the Panthers. Salwards fires, incomplete.
I think that might have slipped. It came out of his hand kind of funny.
Right.
Second and 10.
Two receivers to both sides of the formation for Hopkinton. Salwards rolls right. Oh, and number 3, Teddy Radcliffe, looked like he had his claws on that one.
Somebody came across from Holliston. I didn't see who it was, but they did a great job of containing and kind of stopping the rollout and making the quarterback pass a little bit sooner than he wanted to, and had Radcliffe in the area to receive the ball. Big third down here.
Third and 10.
Let's see if Holliston puts some pressure on Stallion.
Salward's going to take it himself. He's chased down. Just short. Lyons got an ankle, but he got forward a couple more yards to the 5.
Well, Kevin Lyons did a great job there. He didn't make the tackle, but he put the quarterback off balance just enough for Holliston to come up and make the stop.
Looks like the ball's at the 6. 4th down. Empty backfield for Salwards.
Yeah, he's looking at that left side.
And he rolls left. Looks at the middle. Number 10, Chris Del Ponte was right there.
Well,
what a great play by the middle linebacker.
Chris Del Ponte, he kind of put his hands on his head like, oh, I can't believe I missed that. But you know what? It was probably better that he did, because where he was, if he got tackled right there, he would have been
right on the
close to the
goal
line. So that's a great job by that defense. They had to come through, and they did. And now it's up to the offense to get the ball downfield. Nicely played by that defense.
So big defensive stand by Holliston.
We talked earlier how for Hopkinton the defense kind of keyed the start of their comeback. Let's see if it helps Holliston here. 8:18 left to go in the third quarter.
Elwards in motion. Handoff to Benson. Hopkinton middle linebackers just plugged that hole.
Yeah, they converged on Benson. They did a really nice job. They're not.
There was a big hole, but he was like 1-on-3. Second down and 9.
I think you want to get Tristan out to the outside a little bit more.
Fake to Benson. Balwitz rolls out. Got it. Lyons in stride, and Kevin Lyons, number 4, is across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Well, Kevin Lyons is a receiver. That's all he does is make big plays. And that's a nice job by Holliston there. Nice job. Nice blocking, too, by that offensive line. They gave Kevin a lot of time to get that ball out.
And Balowitz delivered a nice ball in stride to Lyons. First and 10 for Holliston. Here's Benson, right side.
Yeah, there you go. You get him outside a little bit more. And
He jumps forward for, looks like about 7 yards. Let's see where they mark it.
He's just so dangerous. I mean, he is an inside runner. He can run inside, but what's happening is when he has to play on both sides of the ball, that's where you kind of lose a little bit of power, but he won't lose his quickness. His quickness will be there to get him to the outside.
Second down and 3 for Holliston. Here's number 3, Teddy Radcliffe on the left side. He's got a first down and spins close to midfield.
Nice run of Teddy Radcliffe. He does a nice job, and he came out and did that nice little spin that got him away for another 2 or 3 extra yards and a big first down for Holliston.
Right. That's a nice change-up out of this spread formation.
You know, the other thing about these guys going both ways is don't forget they're not yet in football shape. I mean, it takes a while to get in football shape. You can be a runner. You can run around the neighborhood or whatever you want, but when you're in football shape, you're getting hit and everything. You got to get used to that.
Right. First and 10. Balowitz to Benson. Benson fights his way through the middle and close to another Panther first down.
That was a very well-designed play. What happened is Teddy Radcliffe went over there and was right behind the tackle, and he was able to work with the tackle to open up that hole.
Yeah, he gives, I guess you used to call it a wham block, or, he gets a good angle on the player, the linebacker he's supposed to hit. Actually, 2nd and 2.
This is a good down. This is a good down for throwing the ball. Good down for a lot of options.
There we go. Benson to the left side. And he turns the corner and finds the sideline on another Holliston first down.
Do you know how tough it is to come full speed in that direction and then at the very last minute, right before the sideline, turn and pick up another 5 or 10 yards? That is an incredibly tough thing to do. But I'll tell you,
it's what the good ones do, though, Jay.
He's so
they plant that foot and they head upfield.
Well, Holliston kind of needed this because Hopkinton had kind of taken control both offensively and defensively this game, and you feel the momentum shifting a little bit here.
Ball's at the 33-yard line of Hopkinton. Balowitz fakes it to Benson, and he's going to tuck it and pulls it back, finds it wide open, Teddy Radcliffe. And he dances along the sideline until he's pushed out of bounds.
Very similar to what Stallia did in the first half when they threw the touchdown pass to Mulvaney. He got to the outside, and he makes the cornerback come up, and it leaves a man wide open, a receiver wide open there. And nice job there by Kevin. He threw the ball in really good timing. And again, that's he got there, and he had to make a quick decision. Do I pick up 2 or 3 yards, or do I get it to my receiver? And he got it to his receiver very well.
Coach Kiley signals in the play. First and 10 from the 12-yard line.
4:47 left to go in the third.
Benson just puts down the pads and sneaks through.
Nice
gain.
I told you a little earlier in the game about how this offensive line, what happens is that they, in the beginning of the game, they do okay, but they're really more effective down when you get to the end of the third and into the fourth one. That's where we are now, and we're looking at this offensive line really playing well right now.
4:24 left in the third quarter. 2nd down and 4. Ball's at the 6. Benson on the fake. Balowitz kept it himself. Spun backwards, but that was sniffed out by number 55.
So we saw two men go in motion at the same time there, and
Jacob Skokel.
they both looked and they both stopped, and the play went ahead anyway. And I don't know if that was designed that way or if they just said, "Uh-oh, I'm not supposed to go. You're supposed to go." But either way, it's third down now, and they got two chances here to pick up 8 yards.
Ball's on the 10. Balowitz fakes to Benson, rolls right, throws back.
What a
Touchdown, Panthers! Number 4, Kevin Lyons with the catch.
Well, Kevin Lyons went out straight out to make that catch. Beautifully designed play, and a lot of that comes off of a really nice fake from Balowitz to Benson. Nicely done, and of course, Tristan is they got to watch him every place he goes, so they're going to overcommit a little bit to him, and he opened it up, and Kevin actually had two receivers down there in the same spot, which they probably didn't want, but they were the only two receivers in the end zone.
Holliston goes for 2. Stanwood, pitch to Benson, cuts it back, dances in, touchdown!
That's a
2-point conversion, Holliston.
That's a great call, and I'll tell you why, because now it not only gives you the lead, but you can play a little bit more knowing that you can go for 2 later on also. And if you score a touchdown and go for 2, you can't be beat.
So with 3:08 left in the third quarter, Holliston answers back with a long drive. Finished off with a nice touchdown pass from Kevin Balowitz to Kevin Lyons. Kevin Lyons, that was his second touchdown of his Panther career. And for Kevin Balowitz, that was his first touchdown pass as a Panther.
And once again, keyed off a great defensive effort.
Yes, Holliston came up big on that 4th down inside the 10-yard line. Del Ponte making that big play to snuff out the drive.
3:08 left to go in the third. Hopkinton will get the ball back, and they'll have their shot at seeing what they can do on offense.
So Holliston up 22-21. They've tipped the scales a little bit with the 2-point conversion.
Well, it's kind of a gamble in the way, but if you do get it, it makes a big difference in the ball game.
Cotting's kick is a strong one, goes inside the 10, back to the 7-yard line. And a decent return by Hopkinton as they get it back to near the 30-yard line.
The other thing is, Tom, we talk about the different stuff with the COVID and the non-practices and all that kind of stuff. Well, the other thing is, too, I'm sure what you're practicing is your offense, and you probably don't get as much time to practice special teams because we don't really see returns normally like that against this Holliston, special team kickoff teams.
So the ball is exactly on the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Mulvaney behind Salward.
Got to be very careful. Very dangerous quarterback there.
Salward rolls out to his left. Pushed out of bounds there. I think it was by Baddock, but he got nice 5-yard gain.
Yeah, Sal, you're really going to have to start. You're going to have your defensive ends or your outside, however you want, whoever your outside linebackers, however you have it set up. Whoever is responsible for contain is going to have to start containing him. You can't let him get to the outside like that.
Second and 5 for the Hillers. Salward pitches to Mulvaney, and Del Ponte is upfield really fast. Chris Del Ponte, number 10, another big play. He sniffed that one out.
Well, he sniffed that one out, but that was all Timmy Elwood. He did remember I talked about contain just a minute ago. That's exactly what number 9, Tim Elwood, did right there. And that's what you want to do, cut it, stop the
Mulvaney
contain.
had no place to go.
Right, and then it gives the Del Pontes of the world a chance to come up and make a nice tackle. This is third down here. Now, obviously, this is going to be a passing down. Now, at some point, you might want to send some guys in and see if you can put a little pressure on Salyard.
Third down and 8.
Oh,
And
they're
Mulvaney
running.
goes to the left, but Holliston strings it out. Looks like Stanwood came up to make the stop. Got a little help along the way. Didn't see who.
Kind of a surprising play there. I mean, because Salyard was throwing the ball so well. He really, and of course, as I said earlier, I love his passes. Beautiful, nice, tight spirals and everything. And he's throwing the ball so well there that you wonder why they wouldn't have thrown the ball there, but they mustn't have a reason for it.
So fourth down and 8.
Got to be careful in the fake punts here.
And Salyard lines up for the kick. Schneelock takes it on a hop, but he's covered. Back of the 25. So 44 seconds left in the third quarter, 22-21. Holliston was the first, responded to the Hopkinton score, and then put a 3-and-out on the Hillers. Well, Jay, it's always, you were talking about Salyard doing so well at passing, and then they ran the ball. Why they run the ball? Coaches are always trying to outthink themselves.
Yeah.
Well, they think I'm going to pass because I'm doing so good passing, so I'll run. I'm doing so good running, I'm going to pass.
Yeah,
and
I don't know why.
When you're not successful, it doesn't look good.
And the thing is, Brian Keith, who actually made a great tackle, by the way, on Elliott right there, Keith. He seems to be an exceptional receiver to me. I'd try and get the ball into his hands, throwing the ball. Holliston goes to war here.
Benson to the left side, pops through a hole, bounces it outside, cuts back in, and he has got a first down to the 40-yard line.
Oh, he came up there a little bit excited. He kind of knows he made a tremendous play to make somebody step by him, one of the defenders step by him, and he cut out, and that other man wasn't there to make the tackle. He was gone, and he knows it, and he kind of gives himself a little, geez,
Number 21's got to be closing in on 100 yards today. He's been getting big chunk plays for the Panthers.
10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. That was the quarter. That's what happened there. So that's the end of the third.
Okay, Holliston with the lead, 22-21. This one's far from over. Should be an exciting last 12 minutes.
Yeah. Well, let's talk for a second about that going for two down there for Holliston and making it. What that did is now, if you should score a touchdown and go for two, now you're in a two-possession game. So that's kind of a big reason why that was done. It is a risk. I mean, if you don't get it, you're down, and you could have put yourself in a two-possession game. But Coach Kiley has tremendous, faith in his offensive line and his running backs. And
he's always ready to roll the dice.
Oh, he will. He will.
I remember a famous game number of years ago, back in 2000. Well, it was Matt Palomo. Matt Palomo was on the team. We were up at Hopkinton, and it was fourth down and 7 or something like that. Back in their own territory. It was on their own 25-yard line, I think. And he dialed up a Matt Palomo play to that offense and just was like, you guys got to score here.
Yeah.
You got to get this first down, because the first couple of plays hadn't looked so good. But Matt Palomo found the end zone. I don't think he drew it up as a 70-yard touchdown, but that's how it ended up.
So now you come into the fourth quarter.
So heroes are made.
Yes, exactly. And legends. you come into the fourth quarter here, and now we start seeing things like who's in game shape. You got to be careful not to make any mistakes. No penalties or anything. And
no cramps.
No, Holliston goes to war right away here.
First and 10 as we start the fourth quarter. Benson takes the pitch. But Hopkinton catches him just for a short gain.
This may be a situation where Coach Perry says, okay, let's use the offensive line. We seem to be doing pretty well here. Let's see what we can do with this. Well, this Holliston coaching staff's been together a long, long time.
Actually, 2nd down and 7. Benson fake on the jet play, reverse to Schneelock. And he is across midfield. Another Panther first down. Almost looked like he could have bounced that outside. I didn't want to second guess number 11. He can find the end zone without me.
I was just going to say that. I think if he didn't go in and he went to the outside, he might have had a clear shot. But he got the first down, and that's what matters now.
There's something comforting about putting your hand on a big red body and following it
yeah,
forward.
Exactly.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers in Hillard territory. Reverse to Schneelock. He breaks it through, bounces off 3 or 4 tacklers, and number 11 is down to the 25-yard line.
How do you do it year after year after year? You keep coming up with great running backs. I mean, this Christian Schneelock, who probably last year would have been one of the top running backs in the league, and they have all those other guys in there, and this one plays and that one plays, and then next year somebody else comes up and plays, and it's just amazing how they get the running backs like that. Also, you got to give a lot of credit to that.
Well, it's the line that makes them look good.
That line is really special.
Don't forget the ones that they give the watches to at the end of the season. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 26. Benson behind Stanwood. Oh, and he is caught.
No, he's not.
He gallops forward. Hopkinton thought they had him. But you got to get 2 arms and a shoulder pad on number 21.
Clock running. There'll be 9:50 left to go right now in this ball game.
So that Benson turned what would have been a loss into a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7.
Keep those legs pumping. Keep moving forward. The trademark of Tristan Benson.
Pitch to, I think that's Ratcliffe, number 3. He's forward for a few yards.
Once again, it's reading those blocks. We know that those big linemen, he really, wow, that was
wow. Wow, a 6-yard gain. 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 in 4-down territory. Well, give those big boys up front, give them a lot of credit. They've done a very, very nice job today.
That's
against a very, very
Maddock,
good.
Athey, Griffin, Payne, and Ibbotson.
And I think this is a very good Hopkinton defense. They've been playing pretty well.
Stanwood pitches to Radcliffe, but he is stopped. And a big red push got the first down.
Let's see where they're going to mark this.
And they do give Holliston another first down on the day. Clock running with 8:23, or stop just for the first down. 8:23 to go in the 4th quarter. So Holliston will have the ball on the 16. 1st and 10. Schneelock on the left, Benson on the right. Athey the fullback. Fake to Schneelock, turnaround by Stanwood, and wow, that caught the Hillard defense off guard as he snuck right up the middle.
My second favorite play next to a pass off of this is that quarterback turnaround deal, and he goes right up the middle.
Yeah, that's dangerous, Jay. When you turn around, you're either going to see green or you're going to see The Hopkinton defense staring at you. First and goal for Holliston inside the 10. They're on the 8. Stanwood again. And he is right downside, just stopped short of the goal line. Ryan Stanwood, a couple of back-to-back runs.
Well, they're trying to pull that defense in even more. But Hopkins really having none of it. They're playing pretty steady on the outside.
Stanwood forward. Touchdown, Holliston! And the Panthers are on the board again. Number 2, Ryan Stanwood.
Well, congratulations, Ryan Stanwood. But boy, oh boy, what a great job that offensive line has done. Some tremendous blocking in there. That's a big group, and, you know, we had said earlier how Coach Kiley was, he really liked both his offensive and defensive lines, and his offensive line really has taken over this game right at the time when they really needed it.
We'll get a timeout on the board. So with 7:12 and the extra point conversion to go, it's 28-21. Do you go for 2 again and try to make this a 2-score game?
You absolutely go for 2, and there's 2 reasons why you want to do it. One is because the way you're moving the ball right now, you're able to pick up those 2 or 3 yards. You know, you have a good opportunity to pick up those 2 or 3 yards. Now, Hopkinton may do something and may come in and stop you, but I think if, you know, right now it's a 7-point game. So if you can get this, if you can get this into a situation where you get the 9-point game, that's a big difference with 7:12 left in this ball game. You've really got to take a shot and do this here.
Right. Well, they've been rolling down the field, so why not go now?
You have to. You have to do it. Now, that doesn't mean to say that, you know, you've still got a really good opponent there. You've got those tough Hopkinton kids, especially those inside kids. They, you know, they're going to have to do their job too, and they're going to be trying to stop you. So
you're going to pinch the middle. You got to stay to the outside.
Yeah, you really don't know what to do in a situation like this.
Go behind number 55. Stanwood over center. Benson. Pitch to number 21. And he's in for a touchdown. For a 2-point conversion. Tristan Benson makes this a 30-21 game.
Well, nicely done by Benson. Nicely done by Ryan Stanwood. I mean, the whole backfield has done a great job. But boy, oh boy, that offensive line. And you kind of knew this is what they do. They start taking over the ball game late in the game.
They exerted themselves. Yeah, War offense. The first time we've seen Ryan Stanwood at the helm of the War offense. And I'll tell you, he ran it 8 ways to Sunday here on Saturday.
He does a nice job, and, you know, a lot of that is the faking and the ball control and everything. What I like is when they just kind of flip the ball up in the air and let the running back come and get it. I just kind of like that. That's kind of
your heart stop. That's why. Stanwood, that's his first touchdown of his Panther career.
All right, now you got an issue here. Your special teams, and you know, you've got to kind of make sure you control the Hopkinton return game, because they've been doing very, very well in these kickoff returns. You got to control them, and then you got to let your defense come in and try and take over. And again, you're against a very talented quarterback.
Cotting's kick taken at the 15 by Mulvaney, and he pulls himself across the 40.
See, that's what you got to be careful of. That's a great field position for Hopkinton. Now, they need 2 possessions to score. There's 7:05 left in the go in this ball game, so it's up to this defense not to let any quick scores occur.
Hopkinton with the score right out of the locker room put them in the lead, but Holliston has rushed back with a couple of touchdowns here. Hiller's trying to bounce back from a 3-and-out. Salward turns around and hands it to Mulvaney. Mulvaney cuts it up the right sideline for a gain of 6 yards. Number 27 has been a wrecking ball today.
He's had a great ball game.
He probably is close to 100 yards.
Oh, I would think.
Mulvaney again. This time the Panthers stack him up, but I think he's got enough for the first down. That'll move the sticks for the Hillers.
Clock starts up now. There's 6:35 left to go in this ball game.
So Hopkinton moves into Holliston territory with 6:23 and the clock running.
You're going to have to be a little bit careful here because I think at some point here, Sally's going to have to put the ball up. Again, though, you got to make sure, contain him on the inside. Oh, there's a timeout from Hopkinton.
Timeout Hopkinton.
Now, remember that.
6:11 to go in the fourth quarter, 30-21. These two teams been throwing haymakers at each other.
This has been.
Have I already used that term?
You have.
That cliche.
That's okay. You're out of practice a little bit too. But they, this has been a really good game. But from both sides, and it'd be interesting to see how this ends up because at some point, Hopkins is not going to have enough time on the clock to just march this ball down the field in 2-minute increments. I mean, with the their
score right after the halftime showed a quick strike offense.
Yes, so they can do it. But at some point they're going to have to do it. Now, on the Holliston side of the ball, obviously you want to know quick scores, but you've got to contain Salliard. You just can't let him get to the outside, and you can't let him get in a situation where they did earlier in the game, where as a quarterback he has an option of running or throwing the ball, and you only have one cornerback from Holliston over there to make a decision on what he's going to do. You're going to have to use your front line. Your front seven are going to have to contain him. And if they can do that, they'll be in good shape. But that's a lot to ask.
Salward is looking downfield and lets one go. Hits number 14 in stride.
Yeah. And that's the big play that I said, they need what they call those chunk plays, I guess they call them nowadays. 6:02 left.
So that puts the Hillers inside the 10 suddenly. So they bounce back from their 3-and-out debacle and giving up a touchdown to the Panthers, and they're ready to strike again as they're inside the red zone. Salward to Mulvaney. He's being chased down, reaches forward.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Hillers.
And they're right back in it with 5:42 left to go.
So that'll make it decision time. It's 30-27.
Now for them, they will. For them, what they have to do is they can kick the ball here. That's really not going to matter. I mean, they can either quite.
It looks like they're sending their offense out. They're going to try to match Holliston 2 points.
Because you can go for 2 now, or you can just go for 1 and go for 2 later if you happen to score, if Holliston can score again.
Salyard's going to roll right. Tries to
nice
knocked
play.
Away by Stanwood.
Nice play by Stanwood.
So Holliston defends the 2-point conversion after the Mulvaney, his 4th touchdown of the day.
That was big. That was a really big stop.
5:42 to go in this 4th quarter.
I don't know, is that Teddy
Radcliffe.
Radcliffe is limping. He went down. I saw him go down in the end. Boy, I don't know if it's an ankle or something. He's just hopefully just a cramp.
Well, you see a lot of cramps.
Oh, now, sure.
I mean, late in the fourth quarter, first game of the season, what game have we seen that hasn't had cramps in it?
Yeah, it looks
You
like
ready for your speech on bananas and?
Well, you eat bananas and pickle juice.
There you go.
Well, bananas.
I was forgetting the pickle juice.
Bananas give you the, they give you the potassium, but the pickle juice it keeps your body, what do you call it? Liquefied or whatever the term is. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Kick drives.
Uh-oh.
Danny Nash all the way back into the end zone. That'll be a touchback for Holliston.
That
might be a factor. Nash is sort of looking up in the sun, and you can really see the glare.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier in the game when the Hopkinton player was looking up in the sun. Made a nice catch.
So but Holliston have the ball at the 20.
That might not have been so bad because if he had caught the ball back there, they might have had a Hopkinton. The Hopkinton, the special teams was way down there, deep inside, and they might have made a tackle deep in the Holliston side of the field. 5:38 left to go here in regulation. 3-point Holliston lead.
There's no overtime, I don't think, Jack. Well, I guess they could play overtime. Stanwood in the War offense. Reversed Benson. Benson fights his way.
Still going.
Gosh, so much fight in number 21. Almost to the 30-yard line. Another chunk play for number 21.
You'll see Holliston now. They'll be watching the referee giving the 10-second signal because, they're not in any kind of a stall situation here, but they want to eat up a little clock if they can.
5 minutes out. They're waiting. There's the signal. Pitch to Schneelock.
Oh, nice move. Nice move.
Behind the Stanwood block, gets the first down.
That is another thing that you do see a lot of coming out of the War offense is you get to see the quarterback as another blocker. That's a big deal having that 10th blocker. I talked about that earlier when the quarterback himself is running the ball. He has 10 blockers. When he's not running the ball normally, there's only 9 blockers out there because the quarterback's not involved. But here, the quarterback gets involved with the play, and they get to do some blocks. And sometimes
and we've seen some great quarterback blocks over the year.
Jack Barrett used to throw some great quarterback blocks.
Benson bounces out. Left side. Keeps his feet. Breaks away. He's across the 50. Wide open. Inside the 30. The 20. Touchdown! Panthers! Tristan Benson breaks this game open.
When you get into the outside, Tom, he's a good power runner. But when you get into the outside, he's just beyond exceptional. He's just really, really special.
So a 70-yard touchdown for number 21 caps his day. Well, it's not over yet. I shouldn't say caps.
No. 4:02 left to go in this game. There's still time. I don't, that Salliot back there. And Keith and those guys, they can score quickly.
But that touchdown there made a statement. The Panthers get them right back up on top. 2-score game.
Now you can kick the extra point. Wow.
And Cotting with the rocket makes it 37-27.
Nick Cotting has a leg. Wow. And the thing is, we talk about this sometimes when they get in a situation where Holliston very, very rarely will try for a field goal, but once in a while they will. And, I always think back to if he just kicks it nice and easy, the same way he kicks an extra point, he'll make it. And that ball would have gone, that would have easily been probably a 25 or 30-yard field goal.
Well, it's a good way to go at your extra points.
It really is.
You know?
It really is.
Try to practice don't have an extra point kick and have a field goal kick. Just have a kick.
So on the exchange, Holliston goes to a 10-point lead.
So that stop by Holliston on the 2-point conversion, it looms large for them. 4:02 left. Tristan Benson finds pay dirt the second time this game for his 36th career touchdown. Cotting's kick is going to scooch up the middle, taken by the up back of the 25, number 14. Go. We don't have his name on the
rosters here.
Roster that we got, unfortunately. So I'm sorry for number 14. He's played a great game. I just haven't been able to call his name out.
All right, here we go. 3:57 left, and I kind of believe it's probably going to start being bombs away here. Now, I don't think Benson's not out there as a defensive back now. I'm sure he's resting. Let's see again if Holliston wants to put some pressure on Salyer. I mean, he's responded all day long.
And hands off to Mulvaney, but he is stopped up. Zach Athy right there on the stop.
Well, you come down here, and pretty soon you're going to be inside of just like 200 seconds left. As the clock kicks down with 3:30 left to go in this game, and I don't know.
Second down and 11 for Hopkinton. Salward sits in the pocket, lets one go.
Oh.
Well defended by Stanwood. Number 14 looked like he had a step.
I know I said this 2 or 3 times, but what a beautiful ball he threw. He really does a nice job of it. And if his receivers can get a step beyond the defenders, Salyer's going to score a lot of touchdowns this year. 3:08 left to go.
So 3rd and 11 for Hopkinton. Salward on the draw. Tries to work his way through the defense. He's stopped about the 46.
Well, I think some of that was we just got to get enough so we can run on 4th down, because they just can't give the ball up here with 2:48 and 7 clock running.
Got to be 4th and 3.
But 4th and 3 opens up other things too, because if it was 4th and 11 or 12, you got to pass. Now they can run the ball, and they've run it effectively, especially with Mulvaney.
Mulvaney to Salward's left.
That's
we got a
penalty.
procedure penalty.
That's an offside. That'll be
a little confusion right there.
Yeah, that's a big
penalty.
A
timeout for Holliston. So the Panthers took a smart timeout right there.
2:18 left to go in this ball game.
Want to give a shout out to the men in the trenches for Hopkinton. Number 50, Joe Arena. Number 55, Jacob Skokel. Number 59, Brady Auslander. Number 70, Hayes Pearson Woodruff. And number 71, Aiden Morin. I mean, they've been battling with Holliston all day long and has made this the game that it is.
And that's a good Holliston front 7 down there, and they've done a nice job, or the Hopkinton has, of protecting their quarterback.
So 4th down and 3 for the Hillers. Handoff to Mulvaney. He powers forward and hits the midfield mark for a Hiller first down.
That's a good call right there. I think, you really got to have that first down, and, you throw the ball. what did Vince Lombardi say? You throw the ball and 3 things can happen and only one of them is good.
The trouble for the Hillers now is that clock. They've got to score twice in 2:02. Sailward. Pump fake. Lets it go. Tracked down by Stanwood, and he's got himself an interception and a return. Right up the sideline, and he is tackled by Sailward right at the midfield mark. Holliston with a big turnover.
All day long, they've been throwing the ball out there, and Ryan Stanwood has been all around that ball, all over that ball. Some great coverage. I'm glad to see him get the interception so he can get the, get the applause for the interception. But all day long, he's been playing great back there in that defensive backfield for Holliston.
And did a great job as quarterback in the war offense.
He really did. So he's had himself a day. He's got himself a touchdown. He's got himself an interception.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers, right at the hill of 49.
Yeah, and I'm betting you're going to see war the rest of the way here.
The Panthers are going to try to run this clock.
They probably really have about 2 first downs they got to make, and that should be it. Oh, it's good to see Radcliffe going back out in the field.
Stanwood to Schneelock. Schneelock.
Stay in bounds. Great job. That's so smart. That is so
Christian
smart.
heard you all the way down there because he hit the brakes right at the sideline.
You just can't understand how smart that is. So, to not only stop, but be able to stay in bounds. Clock running 1:16, 1:15, and Hopkinton has no signs of stopping it. So this is going to be a good win for Holliston to start off the season. And it's the other thing is, too, this Hopkinton team is going to give some people some trouble. I'll tell you right now, these guys are playing some good football.
Right. Stanwood just kneels down, takes the knee. Well, Tristan Benson, before the season started, he said, since we can't win a ring this year, we want to go undefeated and win the Tri-Valley League title. We had a spark in us this year to make a deep run, but life had different plans. And the Panthers are on their way.
And
on their way with a win today against the Hillers, this tough Hillers team.
Well, first of all, I want to say for the Hillers and the Hiller fans, if you're watching, you got a good team there. And, it's too bad it's a shortened season because I think they could make some trouble for a lot of other teams. And you're going to see them win a bunch of ball games. And you got a heck of a quarterback, running back, and some good linemen down there, too. For Holliston, Tom, boy, oh boy. I don't even know where you start.
Stars all over the place making their way.
Let's start with the stars that we should start with, and that's that offensive line. And they just really did a great job today of blocking. And then you get out there and take it away. Who do you want to talk about first?
Well, I was just going to go over the scoring. Schneelock with a touchdown that got the Panthers on the board early. Benson with a couple of touchdowns today. Number 4, Kevin Lyons with a great catch for a touchdown, and then Stanwood's touchdown iced it. Nick Cotting with a strong leg and a couple of 2-point conversions by Benson was just too much of a lead. 4 touchdowns for Cam Mulvaney for the Hillers, their star of the game. And Benson, we talked about his rushing. He was probably, at least 170 yards by my estimate. He had a great day. We'll have that for you later. But a good day for the Panthers and a very enjoyable game.
Oh, isn't it
This was really a great day for football, and I'm so glad that they had this short season, this fall 2 season.
Great weather. We want to thank our team here, of course, starting with the lovely Lisa up top here with the camera, Bruce Guilfoy here on his computer thingamajig, whatever he does. And we want to thank Christian Boudet back in the studio for helping us go live. Tom, you did it again. You come out here and look what happens. This team wins. You do it every year.
I know.
Year after year.
How about that?
They talk about Todd Kiley. I think it's really the Tom Emmons effect.
It's the Tom Emmons factor.
But-
That's a fun one.
Nice job, Tom. Final score today from Holliston, 37-27. I do want to remind everybody one more time, we're not able to broadcast from our away games this year. It's a league rule. We're not able to do that. So we will be back again against Friday.
No, we'll be here on Friday night, April 9th at 5 o'clock for Medfield.
Okay, final score here from Kamitian Field, Holliston 37, Hopkinton 27. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.